Alright, so the last thing on your study guide was find the discriminant of each quadratic equation, then state the number and type of solutions. So I'm going to use number 15. Let's use number 14 from your study guide. The equation is negative 5x squared minus 10x minus 7 equals negative 2. And the very first thing I need to do before I can find the discriminant is make sure the equation equals 0. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, so the discriminant is the part of the quadratic formula that's under the square root. It's the radicand. It's opposite of, the quadratic formula is opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The discriminant is just the b squared minus 4ac part. So our equation's in standard form. It's ax squared plus bx plus c. It equals 0, so all I have to do is plug in that information to get my discriminant. So b squared would be negative 10 squared minus 4ac. Alright, negative 10 squared, that's negative 10 times negative 10, which is 100. Negative 4 times negative 5 would be positive 20. 20 times negative 5 is negative 100. So my discriminant is 0. So that's half of my answer because the direction said determine the discriminant. And so I did. And so what we had in class was a table that you had to memorize that explained how each type of discriminant would tell you what the type of solution would be, the number and type of solution. So, just a quick review of that table. And I think I'm just going to write it down here at the bottom, just in case you need to have a refresher. So if your discriminant is positive and a perfect square, that means you will have 2 real rational roots. That's what it says in the table, but of course you could put solutions. If you have positive but not perfect square discriminant, that means you're going to have 2 real irrational roots. If your discriminant equals 0, that means you're going to have 1 real rational root. That means that your vertex is on the x-axis. And then if it's negative, that means you're going to get into territory where we have square root of a negative number, which is going to give you an I. So that's 2 complex roots. So that is the basis of your conclusion as far as the number and type of solutions. So let's go back to number 14. Our discriminant was 0, so that's half the answer. That's our discriminant. And then state the number and type of solutions. Well, if it's 0, that indicates 1 real rational root. So that means 1 real rational. And I can write root or solution. So those 2 things are my answers. And so what that indicates is if I actually solve this equation, I should only get 1 solution that is a real number. So that is how you use the discriminant, how you find the discriminant, and then how you use it to determine the number and type of solutions.